Hi guys, my name is Blake and I'm an inbound growth specialist here at HubSpot.
And I'm Mary and I'm also an inbound growth specialist here at HubSpot.
And in this segment, we're going to be covering the objection competitors, our favorite
objection.
Let's do a bake-off. Please remember to follow us too on the hashtag GSD show. So Mary, kick us off how we're going to start this segment today.
Yeah, so some of the major themes that we're going to cover are, the fact that this is actually an opportunity. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We're going to walk through how you can also stay on your prospect's radar and how you can differentiate yourself through that process and really how important differentiation really is.
Awesome. So when someone comes to you and they give you the answer, we're with a competitor, where is that person in the buyer's journey? Kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, so at this stage, somebody is in the decision stage of their buyer's journey, which means that they have researched all their different options and they have decided to move forward with a competitor to solve that problem. So they've invested time, they've invested money, and they've done the research.
So they're at the final stage of the buyer's journey?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So let's say that someone says, I'm with a competitor. What's your follow-up question to that?
You really want to find out, how's it going? Have they ever let you down? And that's going to give you a good idea of how good or how bad the relationship is at this point.
I think that's a great question. Also, it's not too accusatory or invasive. I think that's just a great way to kick it off.
Just leaves it open.
Yeah, and you just want to learn about their relationship. So if they come to you and say, Mary, oh my gosh, we're really happy actually. Everything's been going really well. We've been with them for 3 years. What's your response to that?
So what you really want to do in that scenario is, you want to tell them that's great, and you really just want to send them helpful resources periodically to add value, but also stay top of mind throughout the relationship that they have with their existing competitor.
What about finding out something like a contract date? Is that also something that you try to get in that situation, or is it too early?
I think you still want to find out, if possible, during that call because you want to know how long to keep top of mind and when there might be an opportunity to have another conversation or another evaluation.
Okay, so plug for later. So then if they come to you and say, the flip side, we're actually really unhappy, it hasn't been going well, we've been really frustrated, how would you approach that situation?
So that's a great opportunity to ask what hasn't been going well, and ideally you'll get the information you need to differentiate yourself and fill in some of those gaps that they're feeling with their current provider.
Well, this is what we want to hear, right? We want to hear that they're unhappy.
This is pretty much as good as it can go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. So then, for you to provide value, what are some additional things that you can do beyond just kind of going over the surface level comparison?
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to make use of case studies. So if you have other current customers that have moved off of that prospect's competitor onto yours, it's a great opportunity to give them that real tangible research to say, we've seen somebody successfully move off and be really successful with our solution.
Almost like telling a story.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. So, you approach the different scenarios, I thought, really well. How do you stay organized? I mean, how do you handle these people who have told you we're already with a competitor?
Yeah, so you're always trying to gather as much information as possible, and you really want to stay organized. And ideally, you should be logging all of this, correspondence and the key things in a CRM. That way you can log.
Not an Excel spreadsheet?
Love Excel, but it's time for everyone to get into a CRM.
Okay.
Make our lives easier. But yeah, it's a really good opportunity to take down what competitor they're using, when the contract is up. And it gives you an idea of what your cadence should be for your follow-up and how you're going to keep top of mind with them.
Okay, so then if you've segmented these lists of this is these competitors, these are these contract, coming up dates, then what do you do with that?
Yeah, so I would say, at the beginning of every day, you want to see, what contracts you have, your prospects have coming up. And depending on the sales cycle, whether it's a 1 month sales cycle, 6 months, varies from industry to industry, you want to have a conversation at the beginning of that next sales cycle, because the worst thing you can hear is, oh, we just signed on for another year.
Yeah, you don't want to reach out when they're signing the dotted line for the renewal.
Exactly. Definitely get in there ahead of time and really work backwards in terms of timing.
Well, that wraps up our segment on the competitor objection, and it actually also is the end of our objection handling segment.
So sad.
All in general, but I hope that you walk away from this series realizing that objections aren't showstoppers, they're truly opportunities.
Absolutely, and we've given you some tactical help on how to handle the different types of objections when it comes to competitors, timing, and budget. so that you'll be able to get on the floor and handle them.
Never give up. An objection is just an opportunity. And please continue to follow us on the hashtag GSD Show. We'll be back. Thanks, guys.